So I forgot to record this, but yeah, pretty much just looking to catch a short side of gold. There was an Asian range, price peaked out during London, but failed to break out. And then we've just been creating lower highs. So momentum is to the downside right now. To buy gold, just it would be pretty choppy until above, 1896.80. But even then, I don't have too much interest in it. Something about support. Support is just this. Whenever you have like candles that just sit and bounce off of it, as well as when you have resistance where candles come up and bounce off of a specific, level. So just support and resistance explained. Now we do have the chance that this gold 15-minute closes in 4 minutes. So we do have the chance that this thing can break this low over here and just melt without us. Well, without me. Excuse me. But yeah, there's always that chance that price can melt off without us, but I'd rather not rush it. I want to see this thing close nice and bearish. We got 3 minutes. And then the next one should open and create a top wick. Let's say like up into 1888.10 and then break down. That's when I'll short this. But referring to the thin lines, I don't know. These are just levels that I use. You could see below them like clean ranges. There's clean range for the sells back down to pretty much 1882.20. So you could see there's clear range here. You go down to the 1 hour, pretty clear range. Go down to the 30-minute, still clear range. Go down to 30-minute, pretty clear range. So it's important that we just stay patient here, because even if I'm right about like this move to the downside, there's always some people that ask me like, oh, well, why don't you just enter earlier and you can get a bigger move, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's also those times where if I anticipate a breakout, price can turn around and run X amount, to the upside. And then I'm sitting there holding the position wondering, what am I even doing anymore? So I don't really get too impatient. Just wait for the breakout, let the candles close, and then trade it like that. How are the wicks determined? By who? I don't know. It's just the way the market moves. I don't know who determines the wicks. Not me. Shoot, if I determine the wicks, this might be a lot easier. Yeah, you can YouTube like what are wicks. You can Google what are wicks. You can Google what are candlesticks. All of those things. Google is your best friend. I try like during like my weekly Zooms, I would answer things like that, but during these trading sessions, I just try to keep it closer to trading, you know? Nah, you're all right. The 15-minute window wicks reflect the buy and sell price. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So like you can have daily candles with wicks, you can have weekly candles, you can have monthly, you can have 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 4, 5 minutes, 30, 15, 5 minute, 3 ones, 30 seconds. There's all different time frames with candlesticks and wicks. But you see, like, so this is an example of something important with a wick, right? In a candlestick, the timing of it opening. You see this current 15-minute candle. This started at 7:15 my time, right? And you see how this thing just shot straight down with no top wick on it. Let's say that this candle were to be the one to come and break the low of where I'm looking to take this trade at. I would not execute on this idea because, and this is also a good example. See how this 15-minute candle had no top wick and melted off, right? Now, the reason we don't execute with candles that have no top wick is because look at every other candle, right? A lot of the lower the time frame, the more you're going to have that don't have wicks on them. But 90% of these candles have wicks in both directions. So if I'm trying to play a breakout to the downside and this new 15-minute candle opens and it has no top wick, the chances of this thing dropping into the range, then ripping back up and creating a top wick are more probable than this thing dropping into there and continuing down to fill to my target, if that makes sense. So when something doesn't have a wick in one direction, I just ignore it. I don't trade it. I don't do anything with it. It's very rare that I'll play like a no wick candle on the breakout. But if there is any day to do it, it is a Friday. Literally, if there's any day to play this breakout with no wick, it's a quarter of your size than you would normally use because you know you're adding more risk to the trade idea, and then it's a Friday you would do it on.
Tanner, does that include the 5 minute or is 15 the lowest you'll like worry about that?
I mean, I guess if I'm watching the 5 minute here, yeah, I wouldn't play it, but you know, you do have your overall picture, like your hourly would look good to continue, you know, your 30-minute would look good to continue. I don't know. To me, it's a lot better to, like, for me to take this trade now, what I would need to see is a 15-minute close underneath all of this support. And even if this one did it with no top wick, that's okay. You know, we'll have another one that opens in 12 minutes. But I would want to see that 15 and 30-minute close below that. And then the next one, I would want to see open, create a top wick, and break this low to continue melting into this range. So, yeah, I mean, that's my idea. What up, Trap King? I don't even see you in here. I don't even want to get started with you this week. Hey, Trap King broke the market yesterday. Broke it. This guy broke it.
Hey, what's up, Tanner? What's up, people? How you guys doing?
What's going on?
I'm chilling. I'm doing well.
You know, I have to tell you, I ran some UJ long last night, or UJ long last night. But oh, you know what? By the way, I better delete this because I don't want to be in this trade today. I had a sell limit sitting up here too, but I had a UJ long last night out of here, and I had a gold long on an Asian session, and I had a GJ short position, but my longer term ideas are coming back.
I'm surprised you actually went and looked at UJ. I don't even remember I can't remember the last time I looked at up there.
Yeah. Well,
Man, who
I've
looks
been
at
test
you?
I've been testing back all of my longer term ideas. To me, longer
Okay.
term, you know, some of these things might be just a few hours, but it's been pretty nice. I think well, not think, I did a short Bitcoin yesterday too. Literally came up with, I mean, you've seen it. I posted it in our Telegram
Yep.
with just us in there. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I've got to take your EU and UCAD. Here was the Bitcoin that I hit yesterday. So the thing melted for me for real. It's pretty nice trade.
Yep.
I've been on Bitcoin. I've been on it. I'm trying to catch the top of this to melt it back down again, but we'll see what happens with it. But you freaking, what was it yesterday? You destroyed EU and UCAD, or yeah, EU and UCAD. Just
The UCAD is still moving, you know.
dude,
You
I mean, we can't make this up. Literally, this was the entries on his stuff. EU came up and wicked into this position and literally melted like what, bro? It was like 5 minutes.
Yep.
This thing melted 50 pips, and then UCAD literally did the inverse move.
For the fact that I didn't want to trade again today, to be honest, and truly I did not trade. I actually saw another opportunity for us to still sell EU. But I was like, no, stick to your rules. Forget about it. Let it go. And that's how I just let it go.
Yeah, EU. So I had the, well, no, that was UJ. Never mind. EU. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think I did any thorough analysis on this week. But oh yeah, your sell was
I
just
saw another
too crazy.
the whole of this move that melted. I saw it from the very top. But I was like, should I call it? Shouldn't I? Should I let it go? Should I not? I was like, no, let me let it go. Let me forget about it. Because I didn't want to have any trade. I didn't want to expose my account to any risk, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
that's the way
mean,
to
I
do
saw
it.
the pattern there. I was expecting it to fall, but I mean, you know what happens? The market will decide to hit your stop loss. So I didn't want to expose my account to any risk because I felt I was already done. So I just let it go. I mean, I had a good week. No noise, just simple. Make it very, very simple.
Yeah.
How many trades? GJ, EU card, and I mean, I gave hints of a whole lot of things this week, but the only charts I actually dropped was the only ones I talked about on my Zoom was EU and UCAD. But on Monday, I gave hints of GJ, GU, gold, gave hint of everything. Told everybody look at it because I was very busy, so I couldn't really post any shit. So, what are you looking at right now?
I'm watching gold. I want to, it had some Asian session ranged, broke out to the upside, filled up to 1903, and then things fell back into this range, and coming off of London, there was some bearish momentum. So I figured, New York session, we're going to catch a range somewhere, but ultimately this thing is just going to continue from here and drop and hit 1882. Now, I could be wrong. This thing could bounce and drive the price up and end the week up on the day, but I don't know. The clean range for me, for my trade, for the morning scalp, it's all to the downside. So I'm just sticking to what I do. You know how it is. I'm just sticking to what I do. I'm waiting here because I think we're topping out. I think we're topping out up here, but what I want to see is this support down here. I want to see a candle close below, like within this, between this support here and then this support down here. So I want to see something close down in this here, and then see if I can't catch a pullback on a 15-minute, break the low, and then continue down. I think we could get a nice move on gold. So I don't know. I'm gonna put a little bit of risk there and see what happens with it. See if we can't catch this breakout here.
Okay, so on gold, let me see. Gold gave Gold gave a very, very, very very mighty trap, very big one. That I'm not trying to play in that. I'm not just trying to play in that water. Very big one. That's what gold gave, and I just don't want to play in that water. Maybe I'll play with it if it comes on Monday. Maybe today. I'm not going to play in the water. Just let it go.
Dude, El Salvador plans to mine Bitcoin using energy from volcanoes. How do some of these people come up with this? Oh, that hurts my brain reading that.
like
All that for some Bitcoin? Nah, I'm good. They're doing too much. I don't know. It might be smart. I don't know enough about any of it. So this 15-minute, so we're going to have this 30-minute candle open in 4 minutes. We really want to see, I want this 15-minute to close down here. That would be nice. The 30-minute would be breaking the support too. We'd get a nice close on this. Maybe the next one wick up, break the low, and you guys know the deal. Short it after that.
Yeah, because I expect some craziness in the market within the next 4 minutes.
Look, if you guys are going to take the short position, do not over leverage. Gold sometimes does not play well. So you cannot over leverage with this. Got to be calculated, control the risk. Use low. It's a Friday. Use some low size on this. You don't need to hit it with anything big. And if it makes its move right now and breaks out, melts without me, it is what it is.
Why do I see GJ wanting to keep extending to the upside?
Yeah, it's pretty bullish. You got to think weekly, monthly on GJ. It's pretty bullish. The weekly last week was huge. Then it had like a rejection week, and then this week kind of pulled back a bit. So, I hit it last night on the short side, thinking that maybe we'll pull back a little bit more because the daily to me was kind of pulling back, and the weekly we had a bearish week before this one. So I was thinking maybe GJ was going to chop around a bit and continue pulling back a little bit, but I don't know. The weekly here is closing, pretty bullish candle. So we'll see what happens with it.
Tanner, how'd you get your lower range there? Like the target kind of zone?
Just from the 4-hour
4-hour
support here. Yeah, if you look at the 4-hour, there's a nice support sitting here. So
okay.
Honestly, this whole range is clean, but you know how that goes. So see, this is why too. Like I know a major like 7:30 candle open is coming, so I don't get too like antsy when we're breaking the lows and starting to move. Like you guys know how gold can be. If you rush that, it'll just peak interest, suck back into the range. If you were to try to execute on that idea, yeah, I mean you pulled 8 pips, but you're back towards drawdown right now. So just want to take your time.
Is that tell you something for you?
Huh?
Market or stop for you right here?
I'm not sure yet. I want to see how the next candle opens up.
For sure.
Trap King, what were you saying though?
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I just remembered something. I told them in the Zoom. I told them that somebody told me to sell what's it called? GU. I said, why are you selling GU? And then he was like, he had a massive head and shoulder, what made some kind of stuff, created some animal patterns and all of the stuff. I'm like, where's your stop loss? He said 100 pips from the entry right now. I said, where's your target? He says 90 pips from where it currently is.
No.
I'm like, and you expect me to just jump in and take that trade? I said, well, sorry about that. I'm buying. That was yesterday. I said I'm buying. And the dude was like, why are you buying? I'm like, well, do what you want to do. I don't care.
Yeah, that's funny.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh man, this GU would have destroyed him.
So hold up. We had this 15 and 30-minute closeout. The 30-minute pulled back. If we break this 30-minute low, there's a high probability gold is going to continue falling here. So I'll execute off of that low with a 10 pip stop. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. Oh, I'm already up decent. Let's see if we can keep moving. At 10 pips, I'm going to close out if it can move. Come on. Yep, keep dropping for us. Oh, suck back up in the range here. And about 8 pips there. 2 more pips and I would have closed. Let's see what happens with it. Pretty much we're going to need to break, continue down on the 1 minute. We might have a little pullback here, but depending on what kind of size you use, you don't want to hold too long on this. This thing should continue down to fill this. 30-minute looked good to continue. So pretty much now, like if you're stuck in some drawdown you don't like, you can close your trade and then see if price can top out again here. And if it'll pop that 1 minute low right here again, then you can execute your trade idea again, right? So if you start to get where you don't like your drawdown, literally close out. You don't have to take the drawdown. Don't try to hold on to it. That's the worst thing you can do, because this thing could bounce today and run all the way, who knows, back up to friggin' 1900 if it wants. So the way that I do these is I just say, okay, there's a 1 minute low. I'll give it a little opportunity, but if that thing keeps driving against me, I'll close it. And then what I'll do is I'll wait when that 1 minute low breaks again, then I'll just hit it again and give it a second opportunity. But I have a daily mental lockout to 2% on my account. So yeah, if between the 2 positions I hit 2%, I'm done. If I take the 2% on the first position, I'm done. So you guys, if we we might be retesting here to come down. If we start to break out, that's going into waters that I don't like. So then I close out and I wait to hit again. That's literally the same model over and over again. Just see what happens with it. Because what you're anticipating off the break of that low is that price is just going to keep moving. It's the volume's going to push this thing down. So we're going to see what happens here with this today.
You're not still in this, are you, Tanner?
Yeah, I held mine until
really?
I break up out of here. Yeah, remember a little bit ago I told you guys that I am using smaller risk on gold so I can handle this volatility a bit more.
Smaller risk, bigger stops.
Yeah, exactly. Because then I can handle, like, remember the other day I took a 20 pip drawdown. Remember this screenshot that I posted of my trade in the group? Yeah, I'll take a 20 pip drawdown if I need to. But ultimately, you want to see this low come and get broken to continue down. If that happens, gold should continue melting back towards 1882, 89. But if I have to close this on a loss, I'll just hit it again and make the money back on, let's say, this drop here. If it breaks, probably 20 pip impulse. So we'll see what happens. I was up about 8 pips. I got a really nice entry on it when it broke. So, well, nice entry at the time. And look, sometimes this thing will play me out. I know the clean range, but this is another thing too. I'm scared to keep, honestly, scared to keep that risk on sometimes, where it's just a lot easier to hit it again when it breaks, because I don't know, when this thing can dip down like that and then start to run back against me. I just simply don't know how far that's going to go. No, no one does. That it could run again, all the way back up and close in the range today. And if I'm sitting there holding it, stubborn, waiting on my move, I'm going to get absolutely destroyed on it. So it's easier just to wait on it. So if that's the position you're in, just wait. It's not a big deal. Literally. But gold has been doing this all month, or all last month. It's doing it this month too, where we keep breaking the low. And man, sometimes if you're not there, the move, it'll happen. Sometimes it peaks interest, it closes right back up. It's been last month scalping gold, this month, like, been pretty difficult, honestly. Yeah, so at this point, I'm gonna wait to. I think I'm gonna end up waiting to hit it again. If we violate this high here, there's just no reason for me to hold this. Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be, I think, waiting here. Yeah, so we'll have a second chance if this thing can pop through here. We can have a second chance at this, because this is my thing. When I play these breakouts, this is what I'm talking about. You don't know how far this retracement can go, because again, gold could just wick down and then run bullish today up to 1896, 1897. It's possible. Let's see if we can create a lower high somewhere though and just break back down. We can set an order and then it'll pick us back up. This is what happened to me, like in the beginning of the year. This happened to me kind of often, where I would take my initial position, would take a loss, and then I'd have to make it back and then some. But the difference between now and then was the difference between now and then is I was trading pre-New York, and I would lose the money on the pre-New York, but I'd make the money during New York trade. It was just weird. And I kept doing it for like 2 weeks. And so I'd have to just come back and hit it again during the session to make it back and then some. These second trade ideas, they've been pretty similar to that. Oh yeah, there ain't no way you're holding this on the run up. Nah, not holding it. There's no way you're holding this on the run up. It's too much. Can't hold it. Yeah, if you want to, what I always say, someone's asking, do you always risk the same amount of capital, what percent leverage? Yeah, I would always say risk 2%, 1%. Don't risk too crazy. Because look, I guess then, like, what are you trying to do with this? You're not going to make $1 million on a trade. You're not going to make $1 million. Let's be honest. You're not going to make $1 million in a year. So what's the point of risking 5-10%? You're going to lose it all in a month, 2 months, 3 months. These people that go in and risk 15, 20, 30% on a trade, you're out of your mind. You're just going to blow up. You're never going to make it. Then when I tell people like 1 to 2, 3% risk at max, like, oh, you ain't going to make anything like that. Well, I'd rather go real slow than, and be fluctuating 1 and 2% and down 3 and 4% on a week, or up 3 and 4% on a week, than being down 10%. So let's say if you today did not use proper risk, you don't get to execute on the second trade idea. You did something not good for yourself. So you don't get to execute again. Get to sit and watch. Because what I would do is this 5-minute candle just started. It created a top wick. And it looks like price is charging back down at this low. So what you would want to see is, just like anything else coming into this session, is lower highs being created. You would want to say, okay, maybe this is a lower high here. If price starts to come back down towards this low, underneath this 30-minute wick and this 30-minute wick, there is clear range here, right? So you want to take your time and you want to let some candles close. So maybe if this thing can start to close back below this resistance, back below the support, trickle down, you could put an order there to get triggered to run to 1882.79 for a second chance. But if you over leveraged, can't do it. Can't allow yourself to do it. It's a Friday.
I'm kind of hungry.
Me too.
Hungry for food,
Mm-hmm.
It rained seriously over here this morning. So
Did it?
yeah, over here in Nigeria, Lagos. Seriously.
What
My
are you
Zoom
looking
is
at?
up.
What are you looking at? Lunchtime, DraftKings?
Who, me?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
close to noon
yeah,
for you.
it's already it's a quarter to 2 p.m.
Oh, a little further. Okay.
Yeah, it's a quarter to 2 p.m. So I'm already in the afternoon. So I don't know. Tonight on Zoom, I don't even know what to teach. Maybe maybe we'll just do a recap, because I'm trying as much as possible not to throw anything new out there just yet, so that they don't get too much. There's this what they call information overload, and I don't want that to happen to anybody. So there has to be a process. I don't know, for some reason I just want to teach support and resistance.
New 15 minutes about to start. So let's see if this one can come down. Silver's weekly close is going to be, this weekly close is nice. If it can hang on to the gains. It had a nice daily close yesterday too, nice weekly close. We'll have to see.
Do you know the fun that there is in knowing how to trade in consolidation?
What's that?
Do you know how exciting it is knowing how to trade in consolidation?
Yeah.
A lot of people do not know that GBP USD has been in consolidation for like almost 30 days.
Yeah. Some of these pairs get to chopping around in there.
Almost 30 days. But when that break is gonna happen, we're gonna have a field day.
Does XAG and XAU often move together? Noticing XAG is holding slightly positive, wondering if that's having any effect on XAU not dropping. So they correlate like 85%. But you can't like just because silver, because look at this here. Look at your higher time frame. Look at the daily on silver, right? It's been holding and grinding higher. Look at your daily on gold. It dropped and then started to make its move. So you can't trade those two hand in hand. You'll lose probably just about every single time.
Just pick your poison.
Yep. And here's the other thing is that when I trade these kind of breakouts, like I just execute, manage it the same way, re-enter the same way every single time. So it's not, I don't care what this thing's doing. I don't care what that person's doing. I don't care what you think you're doing or what you are doing or what you think is going to happen. Like I just do what I do. You know, I don't pay attention to a lot of the noise or really anything. I could care less about all of it. So my point is, if I see, oh, silver's holding today, that must mean, gold's going to go up. Nah, I just trade the same thing every time. And then there's people like, oh, if you're long-term long on silver and gold, why are you shorting it? Because again, you'll get stuck in these consolidation phases this has been going on since May 18th. Like, it's just a few days till the 18th of June, right? You will have these times where price will chop around in consolidation, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's you've got to trade the structure that's there at the time. And with this session coming into it, price is running bears. The momentum currently is to the downside. And if I can catch a clean range to the downside, that's where I play with it at. So I don't get too concerned about the overall picture when I'm trading intraday scalps. Like these are pretty tight managed positions and this and that. So I don't get too concerned about it. I really try not to pay attention to, all the noise. See if there's any kind of news that's popping up.
Well, nothing's really happening. I gotta go. Let me step out. Nothing's really happening.
All right, bro.
No. Yeah. Talk to you guys later.
All right. We'll see you.
Yep.
TK.
Yeah.
Just patience here. Patience. So I may be flipping another house too soon, maybe next month. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture of the last one. It's pretty nice. If I do this one, I'll document the whole thing. Whole thing. Make a video on it. Any thoughts on FOMC coming next week? No, not really thinking about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not really, I don't know, I'm not really thinking about FOMC. Not yet. Mind is on this low to trade gold to 1882.81. That's where my mind's at today. And apparently I need to go back to math class too, because I had a couple of, some of you guys know I'm working back on my longer term trades, just bigger trade ideas. And I had some last night. And I apparently calculated certain risk. And both of them went well. But I don't think I did the math correct in there. So I'm going to have to look at that again here today. Big patience game. Pretty boring. Pretty boring. See if we can get this thing to move again. Five minute, 2 minutes. Gold, gold, gold. See, the S&P is grinding higher too. It's crazy. Yeah, silver's gonna have a nice daily close. This thing, I'm gonna be, I feel like we are inching towards this breakout. If we can get some daily candles to close up above 29 bucks, this really a weekly candle to close out like we've seen down here, this thing's gonna rip. You see something here. $48, $47. The thing about silver is if you go look at the last few runs on it, big runs, like on the weekly, this thing ignored a lot of structure, just blew to the upside to 30, you know? And anytime it does this, it did it over here. It did it over here. Just huge runs on the weekly. It just explodes out of there, which honestly, we really want it to take its time, kind of consolidate, move up, consolidate, move up. The slower the move, for me, the better. But it's eventually just going to pop out of there. Oh, if you're in that from the low, set it to break even. Don't let it come back for you. Do not let it come back for you. Screw that. Yeah, it's a 10 pip drop there. Eight and a half pips. Yeah, I'll be surprised if 1882.77 doesn't get hit. So you're gonna have a 4-hour candle that opens up here. So now, yeah, if you take this trade on this low and this thing starts to melt, you've got to think about putting this to break even to get rid of your risk from the new 4-hour candle coming. So if you're in the money now, put it to break even. Don't gamble with it. Put this trade to break even. You know, you either break this low and continue, or it's just peak in interest, going to close back up in that range and wait for the new 4-hour. So you don't want to play with that. Yeah, ultimately pretty choppy today. Pretty choppy. We got the break of the low. Price fell about, you know, just slight 9.6 pips or whatever. For anyone who doesn't watch this, we typically pull money off around 10 pips. So if you're still in it and you got to put this thing to break even, or if you start to close back up in the range, you got to get out. But once you break these lows, then you might see this thing continue to drop again. You're going to have a new 4-hour candle right now as well. So there it is, created top wick, break this. Should continue, honestly. I'd be surprised if this thing does not hit 1882.81 today. But I'm currently out of everything. I'm done with gold today. Again, if you took this from this low, man, you better, again, put this thing to break even. If you haven't already got hit, you're up. And if you're still holding it, being stubborn, you've got to put this to break even. That's just that simple. Can't play around with it. Hit it once, seen 8 pips, hit it again, seen 9 pips. You know, we just can't get this big breakout. But what you don't want to do is try to hold this and then retrace on you. You know, it's already down here trying to break out. It can't, so don't hold it. Don't be stubborn. All right, Ed, you have a good weekend too. And gold is really having some failure. And if you are for some reason still being stubborn, put it at break even. Ooh, hit the target today. Sorry, I keep mute now too. I've got some people here. All right. So it looks like gold continued, filled this range. This was chopped up though. Very choppy. It's a hard one to catch. I'm just pulling something. I'm about to pull something up. I took a bit of a riskier position back on my original spot to run down. I'm putting it somewhere. So back when, I thought that gold was going to melt off of 1885.50, 1885.50 was the first position that, I was thinking about. And this thing managed to, at first when it ran up, I had to, not a good entry, right? This thing came down, put me in, broke the low, dropped 8 pips. Two things that I could have done was cover the money and put it at break even. I need to be faster, or just then manage the risk, right? So one thing that I did was I entered risk back on when we broke 1885.50 again back at these 1 minute lows. This is a bit more aggressive. So I'm obviously not going to have everyone do that. But this was where I scaled back in at. I put a position at 1885.50 and closed at 1884. So this thing drops to 1884 off of these two candles. So that is where I exited on the second one. Because you know, probably 90% of the time when I have an idea on a range, these things get filled, but sometimes the market is just rough, period. It can be rough, but at the same time too, I can put risk on things where I want. And I don't have to tell anyone, because then if other people do it and it doesn't go well and they're not managing real time and this and that, then all of a sudden, it's all a terrible idea. So that's why some of these things, some trades I take, can be a bit, a bit more aggressive, but these moves on gold can happen so fast too. And if you're not used to this market, you just simply can't play in it. It's just wash you out. But yeah, 1882 to 1882, 80 today hit. Ultimately, the target was hit, but some choppy moves in there. See, this was my UJ position though. See, I was waiting for UJ to come back up to this level here and hit it, and I had an order sitting there this morning. I deleted it because it's Friday and I don't plan on holding over the weekend, but we can watch a little bit to see if there's a nice reaction off of this. But ultimately, I thought that UJ would come back up, test this, and wash out these lows back towards 109, 109.060. So this is not a trade you should take. These are longer term trades. This is something that if this triggered last night, I was willing to leave. I left the order while I was asleep, but this morning, I probably 30, 40 minutes ago, I deleted this order. So I'll be checking up on that today just to see where my thoughts were with it. But this is why when scalping gold, you've got to be just in and out. Look at that. Cleaned up the whole range here, back to the 4-hour support, and then bounce straight out of there and just breaking back into the range. So that's how you can either make some money or you can lose it pretty quick if you get too greedy and don't close or whatever. See what UJ does here today. I'm just gonna watch it and see. I'm curious. What was I gonna look at? GJ. Consolidating, doing all right. Now look at gold's, like gold's daily compared to silver's. You look at silver's daily, like silver's been trending again nice. It's been closing up, into this 28 level where it's been hitting its head. But gold has been just, kind of trickling down on the daily, where it almost looks like it's going to roll over to continue down, unless this 4-hour can bounce off this support and rip back into the 1890s today. Gold's going to face some selling pressure probably early next week. This is why you can't trade silver based off of gold, because A, they only correlate 80-85%, and B, you look at silver on the daily, it's been holding on to its gains and going up. Gold had sold off and is trying to recover. So while being like in the same asset class, you just can't, you can't trade it like that. It just won't work. I guess any questions then on gold and silver? Anything else? That's going to be pretty much it for me. Once I can trade something once and twice, I'm done. No more. Don't trade anymore. I guess two things, and I want to know who took the first gold trade. Did anyone hold on to it and make anything off of it? Who executed on the second idea, and did anyone make any money off of that? That's the other two things. Did anyone lose or make money on anything? In losing it, it's fine. We take losses literally every single week. You're gonna have a loss. Just watch. Someone says just watch. Anyone else? Anyone take anything? Your wins, losses, anything, any executions from anyone? Somebody else watched? Forex newbie, anything out of you? Money Mike? Steven? Staying long and buying the dips. Nice. Was done with the week yesterday. Yeah. Got in the chat late. Seems as if I may have taken the only loss and the only win today. That's what it seems like. I'm the only one that did anything. Watching AU. Oh. Man, I can't type, huh? Not sure what was going on over here. Looks interesting though. Was in AU. What did you do? What did you guys do with AU? Short it? I'm hoping. I'm gonna add that back down towards my currencies to watch it. I haven't shorted it. Nice. Dude, it peaked these highs, had huge failure, closed back in, melted off. Nice. See, like with the DXY, I will like intraday watch. Is it strong? Long term, I know that the DXY is weak, the dollar, but intraday, I'll be watching what it's doing. And the fact that it has bullish momentum during this, you could see like it's coming off of these lows, higher low, this morning, and it kept pushing up. With the dollar strength, you don't want to trade just based off of these ideas, but it is confluence with a gold sell-off. So gold sell-off like AU short would make sense considering the dollars, intraday strong. This AU to USD makes sense. Things like that. Yeah, I was watching GU last night too, because I was looking at just a few things here, and the 79% would have been my interest here off of this high to this low. This would have been my interest to actually take this short here, put a stop above this high and trade back, let's say like into some structure down here, back down into some levels like this. This would have been my interest. I was watching it. That's kind of similar to I short GJ last night and it dropped into profit a few times this morning and it hasn't really done anything. So I'm just sitting here watching this thing, seeing if, man, it was spread. It must have got pretty close to stopping me out while I was asleep. Well, that's still a 4-pip move, probably 2-pip spread. So I was 2 pips off of getting stopped from this last night. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Because with GJ, I seen that the last week had closed bearish with this bullish candle, and I figured this week would retrace, but it may have been that, you know, this drop was it. I may have missed the move, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna leave the risk on the table and leave it over the weekend. It's like gold's coming back down again. So yeah, EU felt nice. TradKing had called a nice position on that yesterday. Nice short position on that. And he had a USD CAD long off of, where was that at yesterday? That was during New York session yesterday. It was literally right here. He had a long position. It came back down, wicked literally right here at 8 a.m. and just shot straight up 50 pips. It was insane. I want to say there's probably a trap sitting here. Yeah, here it is right here. This was his trap he played off of. And just fib it out. Literally perfect bounce into this. The thing ripped. 40 pips. Oh, nice. You took this too. Yeah, I think a few of you guys were in the chat yesterday. Took EU short and UCAD long. There was quite a few people that were in that. You missed your entry by pip. I think that happened to someone else too. I didn't take either of those, but I think EU missed someone else. Someone else said they got missed by like a pip. Maybe it was Jay that said that. I think he got missed by a pip. Yeah, we do have a private chat. We've got we have a spot in here. We just kind of chop it up about some of these ideas. Yesterday was pretty, you can see in here real time. Yesterday at 8 a.m. Let's see, this is right when we were chopping it up about I asked Steven if he was in there. Market executed, wouldn't come to my entry, picked this up. So this was Jay's idea of USD CAD. There was the entry. Then price literally on EU. This was another one everyone caught short position that had just melted. Let's see, EU about to hit TP. EU hit it the first target and 40 pips. Let's see, UCAD is somewhere in here. I don't know. UCAD somewhere in here. Oh, here was UCAD. Oh, the before. This was the before picture. Then this was the after. Literally hit it and just ran straight to the target. Could pick up some pretty quality ideas. TradKing's got some, he does some longer term, a lot of longer term trades. There was the UCAD target hit. TradKing had a good month. He had a gold sell as well that melted off. Some gold sells, more gold sells. GJ buys. All kinds of stuff. Everything happened. Man, gold. You know, it gets annoying with gold when I actually have to hit the thing twice. That's so obnoxious. I can't stand that. Can't stand it. Because even then, like, typically my second mover will drop or run up pretty nice, my second idea. But it's always a pain taking a loss the first time just to have to hit it again. It's just such a pain doing that. You know, and then even though it's all not in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad, but then sometimes, not every time, but sometimes all day I'll just sit there and think about it like, dude, why the heck, you know, why did this thing just not drop the first time? So anything else from anyone? Is that it? Everyone's done today? Nothing else? PDW. What does that stand for? Someone's name in the chat. What does that stand for? Oh, David Walker. Makes sense. What about you? You just watched today? I think you said you just watched or something. Yeah, just watch. Well, I think this is gonna be it for me today. I'm gonna go get some things done and chill out. And yeah, that's it. Gold hit where we wanted it to hit. Can't trade it anymore. That's it. No more with it. We'll catch all of you guys sometime next week. We'll do something sometime next week. So see everybody then. Yep. Catch you guys later.